Hey guys, Mr. Marcus here, and as you can see, we're back with the Atlético Madrid Master League, and in today's episode we have 3 matches for you. One from the Liga BBVA, which is this particular match against Real Sociedad, RCD Espanyol, and we have the return leg against Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey. What am I talking about? We have a game against Real Madrid in the Liga BBVA, and then we have a game, the return leg against Fiorentina in the AFC Champions League, in the UEFA Champions League. I'm all over the place in terms of competitions. So yeah, so Espanyol in the first game of this episode is against a relatively poor side. I mean, they're an okay side, but in the basically 19th minute of the match here, Griezmann gets an opportunity, he pops him back in the net, but he's actually offside, unfortunately for me, for a pretty decent goal, but he's unfortunately offside. So with that being said, in the 21st minute of the match here, Griezmann again gets another opportunity from long range, trying to score some decent goals for people instead of scoring the occasional finesse shot, because finesse is just so easy to score. But in the 46th minute of the match here, Alsacier does get an opportunity, runs past a couple of players, he himself unfortunately gets pushed off the ball by the defender, goes out of play, and from this it basically comes to nothing. I mean, I play the ball into Koke, Koke just runs past a couple of players, and again he gets pushed off the ball by Halloran. So at half time it was 0-0 between the sides at the Power 8 Stadium, and to be honest, this game was sort of quite even, to be honest, it was really even. So with that being said, in the 55th minute of the match, Alsacier came up, well, he basically does a really good job, gives to Alessio Church, who just pings it over the bar from close range. He probably should have popped in the back to net, and then from that, in the 76th minute, they actually did get an opportunity, and they take their opportunity and pop into the back of the net. They give themselves a 1-0 lead with Stuani scoring a header. And then literally from that, I was so disappointed with myself that Alsacier went flying forward, and he himself pops in the back of the net to equalise in the last, coming up to the last 10 minutes of the match to make it 1-1. And into the last 2 minutes of the match, poor defending from Kyle Walker gives him an opportunity, but All Black makes a pretty decent job of it, to be honest. And from the resulting corner kick, which Bradjek takes, it goes to no, basically goes all the way to the far post and comes to nothing. Eventually Churchy gets it, clears it, goes basically towards Griezmann, but it was never going to get there. So at full time it was 1-1 between the sides, and basically it was a ridiculously close game, so maybe they did deserve to get a draw from it. But into match day 32, and Real Madrid and Barcelona are still winning every single game, so with me drawing, we're 16 points behind Barcelona, so I doubt we're going to come anywhere near winning it. If it's match 32, there's 6 games left, so we have to win every single game and hope Barcelona lose one. Well, actually lose all of them. So with that being said, I doubt that's going to happen. They've won nearly every single game this season 1-0. So yeah, so maybe the league is a bit out of reach for us now. We're so far ahead of Sevilla in 4th that I doubt we're going to be eclipsed to 3rd. But with that being said, my god, hiccups is the worst time. Recording is the worst time to get hiccups. But with that being said, we're going to the second match of this episode against Fiorentina in the return leg of the Champions League. And of course, I won the first leg 2-1 with goals by, I think it was Churchy and Griezmann. We end up going into this game knowing that if we just either win or have a draw, we will probably end up going into the semi-finals of the Champions League, which would be pretty decent. But again, I just don't see it happening. So with that being said, we had to play some players out of position. Well, we had to play some players who have hardly played this season. The likes of Sequeira, who is number 29, who is playing at left back for us because Gaia just was not in any way fit to play, and neither was Kyle Walker, so I couldn't play Juan Fran at left back. So it sort of made a little bit of issues with our defence, to be honest. And Max Meyer came in for Koke, who again was wasn't unfit. He just was in purple form, and we had to put Moya in goal as well. So All Black, basically our best goalkeeper, was out of the game. So it sort of puts that back foot straight from before the game even kicked off. Fiorentina played the likes of Ilicic this time instead of Aquilani, but they still had Mika Richards and Mario Gomez up front, as well as Giuseppe Rossi. But we of course had the likes of Schneiderlin, Churchy and Antoine Griezmann. I'm sure we had Griezmann. If we didn't have Griezmann, no bloody wonder this game was difficult. So with that being said, the game kicked off, and in the first 17 minutes of the match, Gomez does get an opportunity basically from the opportunity, gives it to Giuseppe Rossi, and Moya just is not there to try and do anything, and Fiorentina basically take the lead in the first 20 minutes of the match. And it was a bit annoying because, of course, like I was saying, if they drew, we could maybe have sort of brought it back. But to be honest, they were 1-0 up and they were dominating us completely, because if you look at the stats, they had 2 shots, 2 on target, we had 0 shots in the whole first half. But going into the second half, in the 49th minute of the match, Churchill on the ball, plays it back into Andrei Pierzjushny. He gets a shot away, and unfortunately for me, it's just wide of the post. And in the 65th minute of the match, Gomez gets taken out by Jimenez, and I get a straight red card for that tackle. To be honest, it was a horrendous tackle, and I knew I had to defend for the last like 25 minutes of the match, but it just did not work. As you see in the 71st minute of the match here, Gomez gets, basically he scores one of the best goals I've ever seen the computer score against me, as he chests it down, turns on the swivel, and pings it into the back of the net past Moya. If it had been All Black, I would not have even, he wouldn't have even got a chance. So with that being said, well, he would have probably still, well, All Black wouldn't have saved it, is what I'm trying to say. So with that being said, in the last minutes of the match, Fiorentina knew what they had to do to try and win the game, and they just passed the ball about a little bit more. Of course, going up against 10 men, it's relatively quite straightforward. And with that being said, we just continuously fouled them, didn't really get anywhere, and Fiorentina end up winning this game 2-0. I'm just going to put you out your misery now. So with that being said, they end up winning the game 2-0, so they end up going through to the semi-finals of the Champions League, and we get knocked out. So not particularly the best episode mid-bit, but again, who knows. So with that being said, Gomez was man of the match, and the other teams through are Barcelona, PSG and Bayern München. So with that being said, I decided to start skipping some of the matches in the Liga BBVA because there was no point showing all the matches. Yes, I could win against Elche 3-0, but we always knew that we were not going to win the league. We were actually too far behind now. So with that being said, we were 16 points behind Barcelona. They had 90 points, Real Madrid have 84, and we had 74. So yeah, we're 10 points behind Real Madrid as well. So going into the last match of this episode, it is against Real Madrid of Cristiano Ronaldo, as their captain Keylor Navas again was in goal for them for some ridiculous reason. I'll never understand why. And basically this game didn't really mean much, but I just decided to put it in because basically I actually played it. So any of the games in the remainder of the season, only games that you really care about are the Copa del Rey final against Barcelona and probably the last game of the season, because we're already secured into third place, and it's probably the highest we're going to actually go. There's no other place we can actually go in terms of the league, and we're out of the Champions League as well. So potentially this is the penultimate episode, and the next episode will have the Copa del Rey final as well as the last match of the season. So buckle up, because that's the end of the season. Then you have to make a decision of where I go after that. So with that being said, into this match against Real Madrid, we played a very, well, one of our strongest sides possible, with the likes of Kurt Zuma, Kyle Walker, Jimenez, Gaia, Schneiderlin, Martinez, Koke, Griezmann, Alsacer and Churchy in our team with All Black in goal. While going up against the Real Madrid side, which had the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema, Bale, Rodriguez, Modric, Toni Kroos, Carvajal, Danilo, Sergio Ramos and Martins Indi, and like I said, Keylor Navas in goal. They must be preparing for Iker Casillas to like announce retirement or something, because there'd be no reason why you would play your backup goalkeeper in such a big match, especially considering it is the Madrid derby. So yes, so of course with such a bad goalkeeper in goal, I knew I could get some opportunities away and score some goals, but for some reason in this particular match I didn't actually mark anyone. Usually mark settings is quite useful when you're playing against a hard opposition, and it didn't really work. I didn't mark anyone in this match. I actually completely forgot about it. And in the first 10 minutes of the match, James Rodriguez has a penalty kick. For some reason I decided not to dive in any direction, and they end up scoring to make it 1-0. But about 6 or 7 minutes later, Griezmann on the ball runs past Martins Indi like he's not there, runs past a couple more players, gets a shot away at the near post, and scores a very nice finesse shot at the near post to make it 1-1 in the first 20 minutes of the match. So the goals are just flooding this game. But in the 26th minute of the match, I play the most ridiculous pass out ever, as for some reason Schneiderlin decides to run away from the ball. Benzema gives it into Cristiano Ronaldo, Ronaldo gives it back to Benzema, and Benzema pops it past All Black to make it 2-1 to Real Madrid. And I was a bit disappointed because I didn't actually mean to do, I mean to pass it to Schneiderlin, but Schneiderlin decided to run away from the ball from whatever reason. I have no clue why. But before the first half ended, Real Madrid got another opportunity and popped in back the net with Cristiano Ronaldo. And then in the 40th minute here, Koke runs past with 4 players, gets a shot away, and he scores to make it 3-2 to us, with a 3-2 to them, which is pretty decent for us. So going up into the half-time result, basically players were flying all over the place. Kurt Zuma picks up the ball, gives it into Griezmann, and the referee blows the half-time whistle, which is 3-2 to Real Madrid. So Madrid were winning, and the game was quite close, to be honest. Like, not much had really happened. But in the 60th minute of the match here, Ronaldo gets a shot away, Ronaldo scores a goal, and that was that. So Ronaldo scoring all these goals and basically more or less giving them a 4-2 win. As we see here in the last minutes of the match, Ronaldo on the ball again, trying to play in Luka Modric. She actually does succeed in playing Luka Modric. Kyle Walker does actually come back and do a pretty decent job of defending, but it comes to nothing as we end up losing the game 4-2 against Real Madrid. Considering we beaten them like twice this season and drew with them in the Copa del Rey, it was pretty decent that we had to, of course, get beat by them once this season. So with that being said, Barcelona also won 2-0. Real Madrid, Barcelona, that's the end of the season, to be honest. Barcelona are still 9, oh, they're 21, 20, oh, whoa, I have no clue how far ahead they are, and I'm not going to bother doing that maths in my head. So if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and catch you later.